When you essentially want to break down what a PPN is, you have to look at the pillars. So it's broken down into community and voluntary pillar, which is a broad spectrum of all sorts of groups. It could be sports groups, it could be heritage groups, it could be tidy towns, anything and all. Then you have the social inclusion pillar. That social inclusion pillar is more along the lines of including people who might otherwise be excluded in society. And there are new communities, older persons, younger people's groups, etc., etc. And then you have usually the smallest number of groups, but very passionate, are the environment pillar. And they are what it says on the tin. They are all about the environment, all about energy, biodiversity, sustainability, etc. So that's what the pillars are. Okay, so if you want to flesh out the actual work that we do as part of the PPN, it's broken down into, I suppose, 3 different anchors. And that would be down to networking the groups together, making sure that they liaise with each other and come together and work together as a group of groups, like a network, a family of community groups. Then what we have is a communications anchor. That's all about making sure that we have as much knowledge as possible so that we can benefit the groups as being members of the PPN. So if you're a club or a group, Tidy Towns, that you are a member of the PPN means you're getting more information to empower you to do more. And the third point, which is the very reason, the core reason why we set up PPNs, is representation. To ensure that there's a voice from a non-political community point of view on boards and committees so that they have a say to empower and bring diversity and bring flexibility and community voices to every board and committee as much as possible so that we have a wider say and a wider perspective on making decisions and policy at a local level. Community and voluntary pillar is by far, in every PPN, the largest pillar there is. And that's by nature the diversity and variety of groups contained within it. That community and voluntary pillar, it could be sports clubs, it could be heritage groups, it could be tidy towns, it could be anything and everything. It's such a huge patchwork of groups. And that's also the strength of the community and voluntary pillar. It's that patchwork of groups that makes it a diversity engine, that it pushes a huge amount of voices as one voice.
So the PPN is a great place for environmental groups to get together as well. It's a great space to collaborate and to really be stronger together in that collaborative action on the ground and in local policy.
The benefits of PPN membership is it brings people from the environmental pillar, community and voluntary sector, and social inclusion, particularly people with disabilities, travellers, immigrants, and women's groups, together in areas which they wouldn't be able to engage with other community and voluntary sector organisations.
It also brings communities together as well. There's a lot of engagements in the city where a lot of local groups wouldn't know how to apply for not only funding, but also that there's other groups out there that are similar to them. So the PPN brings us all together in ways, and we actually get to meet each other and make great links.